It is July 14th, and it has been 2 weeks since I walked through my garden, and a lot of things have changed, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick update so you can see what's growing. And finally, we've been getting some rain. Last night it rained. We're supposed to get some more here in a little while. As a matter of fact, I hear some thunder in the background. And then on Saturday, tomorrow, we should get a lot of rain. So it's very, very, very much needed right now. So over here I have some tomatoes. They are setting fruit here. These are the Thai pink eggs, and these will ripen to a beautiful iridescent pink, and they are not acidic and just a really nice little tomato. So those will probably be my first ones that I get of the season. And then I also have cherry tomatoes setting fruit over here. Those are the little Matt's Wild Cherry, and they are super sweet, and I just love those little tomatoes. I also have some cucumbers that are setting already. So I have a little cucumber over here. These are the Persian cucumbers. I'll try to show you if I can show you this one over here. This is the little Persian cucumber. I just really, really love those as well. Now over here is also an original GreenStalk vertical planter. These will have the 10-inch pockets in them. So that one is, and I have 3 plant supports on those for all of the little tomatoes. Over here I'm trying to grow the bigger tomatoes. So I have a Lenny's Oxheart right here. So I've been trying to keep this watered, so we'll see how it does. I'm hoping that it will get pretty big size for me. We'll see how it goes. And then cucumbers, of course, they are setting here. These are the Market More cucumbers. You can see that there. Nasturtiums, lots of nasturtiums. And then some peppers here. These are the Aleppo peppers, just starting to set fruit there. Okay, I have several little pepper plants through here, but most of my peppers are planted down in my lower driveway. Alright, this little planter is also the original with the deep pockets, and I have a Polish dwarf over here, and it has some really nice fruit on there. I'm hoping this will be a nice variety of tomato to grow in the original GreenStalks. The Polish dwarf gets about 2.5 to 3 feet high, I think. This is the first year growing it, as I've told y'all before, and the fruit is supposed to be about a ping pong size. So a lot of little peppers in here. And then I'm growing Tulsi basil this year, and it is going to be wonderful. I have high hopes for my Tulsi basil. I saw a little dish online that I like to make. It's called, I think it's just like chicken basil. It's a Thai dish, and it will be great. I do believe it's kind of just like a stir-fried chicken with a lot of the basil. You use about at least a cup of basil in it, so I'm looking forward to trying to make that. And then parsley. Okay, the parsley I've transplanted from my front square foot garden, and so I have a couple of pockets of that. You see the storm is rolling in here now. It hasn't started to rain yet, but I already shot some footage of my front square foot garden, so that was done this morning, but I wanted to show y'all this afternoon. So nasturtiums, and remember nasturtiums, I had some questions about why I grow those, and did a video on them and explained and showed a study on how good they are for your eyes. They're loaded with lutein, and of course whenever you can get your nutrients from a plant, it's going to be more bioavailable for you. Your body's just going to soak up those nutrients much more so than it would with a supplement. Okay, so I grow a lot of nasturtiums and like to put those in salads. And then I have my basil here. Looks like I have some damage on here, and I bet I've been looking up underneath the leaves of the basil, and I've been noticing the little June beetles, I guess you call them. They always attack my basil every summer. And I'll try to show you guys a picture of them one year. They just covered up everything. Just ate my Thai basil and my Italian basil. But as you can see, I've been coming out here checking on this every day, a couple of times a day really, and I've been trying to knock them off and squish them, provided they don't fly off first. They're pretty quick. So they like to fly off. Anyway, this is damage that's just happened this morning right here. This is old damage on this leaf, but so you just have to kind of keep an eye on your plants and monitor them for disease and insects. Okay? Now all these empty pockets that you see here, this is the leaf planter. I'm experimenting growing the bush green beans in them this year, as I told y'all before. So I just put some new jade bush bean seeds in this planter, and they're not up yet. Over here is another original, and I put some more parsley over here. As you can see, it's just starting to root down. Those yellow leaves just let me know it's kind of going through a transplant shock. Those are the lower leaves, and so once it roots down, I'll pull off those yellow leaves, and it'll take root and do fine. And then at the top here, I have fennel, and the fennel is doing fine. I expect that it'll take off here as soon as the temperatures get just a tiny bit cooler. It likes warm temperatures, but it's been just like high in the 80s, almost, and on my deck in the 90s, and it's just been really hot. So this little Thai basil here, plant here, looks wonderful though. Really nice. And then I have another Polish dwarf over here. It's setting some little tomatoes down in there. Hopefully you can see those okay. Nasturtiums. I have some cherry tomatoes. I was a little late planting a lot of my summer vegetables this year, but they're all coming in okay. Okay. A lot of fennel, and then the basil. This basil here I transplanted in here also from my front square foot garden. I was just thinning out some of my plants from the front garden, and I came over here and popped them in the planters back here. Keeps it nice and simple. And I actually do also have a watermelon plant here. See those leaves there. We'll see how it does. Okay, lemongrass in the container, and more lemongrass here. And then this is a pandan leaf plant. A lot of times that's used for desserts. It's kind of like a substitute for a vanilla type of flavoring in some Asian dishes. Alright, and then over here I have more green beans. I'm experimenting growing these in the leaf, and you can see they are blooming wonderfully. And I'm planting those 2 per pocket, as you can see right there. But a lot of my first planting, only 1 came up out of the 2 I planted. So right now what you see growing with all the blooms on them, that's 1 per pocket in the leaf planter. Okay? And I planted some more in here, and I'm using a new seed, so those should be up soon. Okay, and then over here, the last 2 planters, I have another Tulsi basil here, and then of course this is my scallion GreenStalk planter this year. The 2 big scallions that you see were from last year, but I've been picking scallions every day, starting from the bottom, which is my first planting. They're the biggest, going up through my second planting, getting a little bit smaller, and then of course the top tier was my last planting. And those will take off in growth again, probably late August. They'll take off because temperatures will get cool, and that'll be their sweet spot for growth. When it's too hot, they don't die, but they do not like that really hot weather either. And I might just save the seed of some scallions. As you can see here, this one has gone to seed, so I've just left it in there because I might want to save the seeds, okay? And then Swiss chard, 1 per pocket in the leaf planter, and then the top, of course, is all scallions. Wonderful scallions. I use those in eggs and in my salad every day. Eggs and salad. Keep it kind of simple. So there you have it. I'll take you around and show you the footage that I shot this morning in the square foot garden. And if you have any questions on this little garden, leave them down below the video. I'll be more than happy to try to help you. So here's the square foot garden in the middle of July. A lot of things have changed over here too. So I'll just show you real quick what we have growing. I have been picking the stems off of the lower part of the tomato plants because they were touching the soil, and I think it was just blocking a lot of the air circulation. So I'll just come out here every once in a while, and if it looks like it's getting too overgrown at the base, I'll pull those little branches off. As you can see here, I need to do some cleanup. Okay, so this bed, we'll start here. Tomatoes are looking real good. I have some jade bush beans here. They're starting to bloom. So I should have some beans here by the end of the month. I have some borage here in the middle. It usually attracts a ton of honeybees. I see one or two. So that's a good thing. For some reason, we haven't seen many honeybees for the last 2 weeks. We had a lot earlier in the spring and early summer, but just not many right now. Anyway, tarragon, real nice tarragon plant here, and then of course sage, and then another tomato plant there in the corner, and some onions there. Now those are let's see, I think those are short day onions, and those were given to me as a gift, so I thought, well, I'll throw them on out here. Usually a neutral day does great for me, so we'll just see. That's another experiment how a short day onion will do for me. And then there is some sage, it's looking really nice. And then the gladiolus are finally blooming. My first one to bloom was this purple one here in the middle. Okay. Alright, and then I have a honeydew just starting to take off in its growth. Having that rain that we had yesterday really helped a lot in the garden. And then over here is a butternut squash, coral gladiolus, beautiful color. I have in here a pepper plant, and then some hollyhock, which won't bloom this year, nor will the sweet William over here. Zinnia, an orange one. That's what color my cactus zinnias usually come up that color. So I don't really like that color so much, but I'll show you the other one that's come up here in just a minute. And then I have jade bush beans all over there as well, along with, of course, some beets and Swiss chard there in the middle. Sweet potatoes there on the edge, growing over the edge. Over here is the cactus zinnia, and it turned out to be a coral color, so I was real happy about that. Cucumbers here, I need to train them up the little trellis, and I need to actually go ahead and plant some more cucumbers now, so I'll have a succession planting. When those have stopped producing, I'll have some more setting fruit on another vine, so I need to plant some more cucumbers. And then sweet potatoes in the corner. This is a winter squash here called Delicato. Okay, and then over here is my cauliflower. So 2 weeks ago I couldn't hardly even see it. It was the size of a button, and now you can see it's heading up very nicely. I've got some serious insect damage on the leaves though, but I don't really care much about the leaves. So when I pull that out, I'll go in behind it and plant cucumbers. Okay, so sweet potatoes in the corner, butternut squash here on the edge, growing over the edge. Another coral gladiolus, and then in here I have some tomatoes setting in here, so I think that may also be what's called a lemon boy. And let's see, over here I have my last blueberry bush with some berries on it, and to stick my head in here, you can see I have some I need to pick today. I'll do that probably this evening. And this will be my last bit of blueberries for the season. So I'll have them probably through the end of July. And I won't walk down there, but instead of using my trellis this year for beans, I've decided to put tomato plants over there. And then I have my pepper plants in the vertical GreenStalk garden there. I have 2 of those, and those are taking off, just starting to take off. Had some stunted growth on there this year for some reason. Usually they're double that size, if you can see them there. And then my kaffir lime tree, looking pretty good back there in the corner. So that's my garden. That's what's growing here in mid-July. Thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.